Yeah.
Oh.
It may have said something, but we're live, baby. We're goddamn live.
Okay then.
Put the charger. Hello, Patreons. If you're in there early, before anyone comes in the stream, thank you for your constant, amazing support. You're the best people. Oh, I need to share the live stream. Do you want to share the stream and I'll find it on here?
Oh, God. Let's do it the other way around.
Let's do it the other way around.
Let's
Don't
not.
worry about that. I'll do that in a minute.
Sorry.
Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. What's that noise? Shut the door
I
or
will shut the
something.
door.
I just shared this out on my social media. How is everyone? We'll get to your in a minute. Just share this out on Facebook, then we'll see who we've got. Facebook. Join us live at 5. I'm going to put. Yeah, that would be a good little.
Yeah.
Post. Right. Let's see who's in the house. Oh, how does this thing work? I don't like Edge. How do I?
Just go on my channel.
Laura's in the house.
Hey.
Hi, Laura Watts. How are you? Don't forget to thumb up the stream, ladies and gents. You get a wing. You can have that for nothing. Well, you have to press a button. If you haven't pressed the button yet, don't wipe that from your memory. You didn't earn it. You didn't deserve it. Right. I think someone may walk through here. How's everyone? What have you been up to? Comment down. Who are you? Where are you? Are you bleeding there?
If you're not from Norfolk, what you bleeding down on means what are you up to?
While we're waiting for the computer to load up with your comments, I'll just draw your attention to these lovely. I'll link in the description and give us your money. It's not as funny if you don't say it in a comedy. Whoa!
Oh.
That and greedy.
That's
So,
all the sayings today.
Iric in the house. Hi guys. How am I pronouncing that? Where are you in the world? Will Vegans in the house. Hey, old Laura Watts. Gentle 8 top of the morning to you from Colorado. I thought you were going to be from Ireland then. That was keeps clinching out. This is the clinch. The snap down. Is it rubbish? Terrible internet lately. If this dedicated line's not working, like why would another one like work? This is BS.
Yeah, true, but this is the cooperative and they are not one of the fastest internet providers.
Okay.
They were the most ethical, which was why it was their choice, but they are not one of the fastest.
Ethical's good. Rusty Richardson's in the house. Oh, Eirik is in Norway. Is that like an English Eric? Now and again, you sound like a robot. What do you say?
Hi, Mr. Alex.
Affirmative. See Illuminati. Mr. Alex, yeah, is in the house. Ah, okay. Eric. Cool. How's the vegan scene in Norway? Are you a vegan man? Okay, so the stream's good. I can see that we're a lot more solid on the on my replay here on my laptop.
Maybe you just had to say something like a robot, and that was the cure.
Yeah, it's probably the cure for cancer and everything. Cancer be gone. Okay, guys, if we can thumb up the stream, and then we'll start to entertain you a bit more. What has everyone been up to?
You did a collaboration yesterday with Ethy Vegan, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a collaboration with Ethy Vegan yesterday. Do you guys know him? Not Epi Vegan. He came around about a month ago now.
So you've had Epi Vegan and Ethy Vegan round for a collab.
Epi Vegan, Ethy Vegan, Annika Svenska, the TV presenter. We did a little video collab thing that won't be up for a while. That's like a 4-month body transformation, but she popped down there as well, and we cooked her some food to show her how to do the nutrition side. Also had her in the gym earlier in the day. And then who else? Vincent Taz is coming soon. Big Instagrammer. Check him out if you want to. Don't nip off air to do it, but Vincent as a triple Z, I think. So like a vegan sort of physique athlete. Yeah, like I say, a big following on the Instagram's doing great things for the animals. So he's going to come and hang in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think, or no, a week or two.
Just we can do more collabs now, isn't it?
Yeah, collabs. I'm vegan for 8 months. No, it's not many vegans in the city I live in. Yeah, you know, some places are kind of slower to adopt, aren't they? But it's getting there, isn't it? I can see, you know, we're quite blessed here. And then other cities in the UK where we live, like not so much, but you know, they're starting to. We spent the weekend in, so we're in the sort of main city really in Norfolk, and then we went down to Ipswich, which is the sort of main town in Suffolk, and you know, that's a bit smaller. They've not that long. We've been going for about 5 years, have we? Like Norwich Vegans Group. We've got like a meet-up group, and we do outreach and stuff. And then like they're starting in Ipswich, and you know, they had a reasonable amount of people to the meeting, and then a few people doing their outreach, and you know, they're saying, "Oh, we're not quite Norwich yet," but they've started, haven't they? Like someone's got to be the one to start it off, and now they've got like a little nucleus, and now you know, month by month they're just going to grow like Norwich did. It's gonna be freaking cool. Mike Mindful, some sexy vegans right here. I'm in the right place. Yeah, man. How are you, my friend? Are you new to the stream? I'm not sure if I remember your name before. Patrick DeVos. Hi, Paul. Have you a tip for better skin? When I'm eating more protein, my skin looks bad. You know, just eat the whole plant foods, basically. I wouldn't really recommend eating much else. Just in the case of like a larger strength athlete, it may behoove you to add a little kind of processed protein in on top. But just eat the clean foods, whole foods as they come from nature. You know, when you first eat that way, your skin can get worse for a time because oftentimes you're detoxing so much rubbish out of your system, and then that can sort of affect your skin. The skin is one
of the elimination pathways, so it can show things.
Yeah, what she said. Mike Mindful, Mother's Day in Australia. Oh, happy Mother's Day, all the Australian mums. Jesse Hitman's in the house. Barrett K, what's up? Jesse Hitman. Oh, I just said that. Mr. Alex, been eating the protein energy balls all week. That's so nice. No, okay. Oh, yeah. Did you get some from us? That's right, isn't it? And you got a T-shirt? Is that right? I know how to keep up with everyone sometimes. Thank you very much for the compliment and for your kind support, my friend. You help us to do what we need to do. So help fund us. Let's jump.
I've just noticed we haven't got any moderators.
Not any moderators. We've got some lovely trolls in the house. Try not to be too unkind to the trolls. They're suffering in life. They're suffering spilling over. So let's give them love. And you're all welcome here. If you're trolling, you don't need to troll. Like, we will pay attention to you anyway. It's not like you have to act up to get attention. And we love you. And why don't we be mates instead of, like, rude? If you want to, just putting that out there. The Donegal's is not a question, but great turnout at Veg Fest. Nice. Yeah, I saw there was a... Oh, I need to get over there. Would you be up for an island Veg Fest?
What, me?
Yeah, you.
Yes.
Let's get in touch with them. Tell them we want to come and speak and give it your money.
You do the speaking, I'll do the eating.
You do the food providing. Yeah, if they want to just fund us to get there, I don't want any like just expenses. That would be great. Eric, we have an Honest with the Voices for 7 months. Nice, good work, brother. Mike Mindful, what's the best vegan food for muscle gains? So really, you know, you just need to be eating in a caloric surplus. You need to be eating you know, minimum amount of protein. So for my money, like base your meals around a legume and possibly with a whole grain most of the time. Plenty of veg, little fruit, little nuts and seeds. If you're larger, you know, if you're more muscular than the average bear, you know, a little processed protein may benefit you potentially. May not be the best for overall health though, is the only thing I'll say. So it's like, you know, do you want optimal health? Do you want to be as big and ripped, or, you know, can you strike a balance where, you know, if you're eating, what are you doing? What are you there, Dan?
Don't worry.
If you're eating a plethora, like a bounty of whole plant foods, then a little bit of processed foods, you know, as long as it's not like oil and sugar and crap, it's not going to be too bad. So I don't see that as too much. If I add in like a protein for someone, I just say like try to get one with no additives. Obviously, whole foods is nothing bad added, nothing good taken out. If you're going to have a processed food, well, just try to get one with nothing bad added in, like if you can. Right, who's next?
I thought I'd moderate, seeing as I'm sitting here. We haven't got any moderators, so it makes
Yeah,
no sense.
sure. I don't mind a bit of
I mind it.
in there.
I
Okay.
mind it.
Hoop RZ says you're both gay, ain't yous? Yeah, we are both really cool people. Thank you for noticing. Mike Mindful Nottingham is good. Sweet. Mind getting up there. Is it a mad thing? It's what a mad thing. You'll have to be more specific than that. Nottingham supports vegan activists very well. Nice. Laura White, I wonder if you could help me. I want to celebrate my birthday in a vegan restaurant with my family, but my brother won't because it's vegan. Don't know what to do. Well, that's not very nice, is it?
How would you respond if you said that was what you wanted for your birthday from him? Was just for him to accompany you guys?
Or can he eat before you go there and just have some drinks?
Yeah.
I would have thought that's not too much to ask if it's your loved ones.
Yeah.
You'd hope, would you?
Yeah, I mean, could you express how important it is to you? Maybe you've done these things.
Yeah.
Could you offer to have a meal that's like you're in your home, but maybe you want to go out because it's your birthday?
Yeah. Laura deserves a nice night out.
Yeah, I wonder if you could get him there. If you go somewhere nice with really nice vegan food, it might win him over. He might think, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's getting there and then getting him there, isn't it, if he's not wanting to go.
Yeah. Anyone else got any tips for Laura?
Some people are very daft, aren't they? Like, I hear it all the time. I wouldn't eat vegan food. And my perspective is, do you just eat meat and dairy then? You don't eat vegetables and fruit and, do you know what I mean? Like, don't be ridiculous. But don't tell him that, obviously. I hope you get some resolution there. Essie, Sunset Life. I'm growing upper body muscle for the first time in my life on a vegan diet. I was always a tweak before. Sweet. Good job. Hans Holtz, I love your cute beard. Aww. Cute and adorable. I've never had that said to me before about a beard. What's happened?
Sorry.
So that was Mr. Alex. I thought that was. Thank you, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Gentle Ape, any tips for getting a lot of calories in when you don't feel hungry?
Drink your calories.
Get some exercise. I find when I exercise, my appetite goes through the roof. But yeah, drink your calories. Eat more calorically dense foods, such as dried fruit, tropical fruits, whole grains, legumes. You know, you get maybe nearest 15% of your total calories from fats. You know, a little bit of tahini on your whole food, like high carb meal, maybe sort of pleasant. Amac Noble. Oh, come on. Red lentils are my go-to staple. I also like to use quinoa, chickpeas, nuts, but I do use bulk powders. Yeah, I quite like that one. Yeah, very good choices. I would invite you to be careful not to overdo nuts because they're so high in omega-6. We do need some nuts to be healthy, and if you don't eat nuts, that's actually a worse predictor of an early death than the act of eating processed foods, which we know is horrible for health. So do get a little bit of nuts in. I invite you not to go too mad, and have some chia and flax seeds and to balance it out, because they're higher in the omega-3 versus nuts tend to be, well, they are all higher in the omega-6. And yeah, smoothies are good, Jesse. Yeah, good point. Angry Vegan, what are your thoughts on acai? Yeah, they're all right. They're probably like overhyped and overpriced, but sometimes have. There was a smoothie mix, wasn't there? We made smoothie bowls with that was fairly cheap actually to get them frozen. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, as long as you're eating all whole plant foods or nearly all whole plant foods, and you're getting your produce, you don't need to go mad on one specific, like what people are calling a superfood. You know, you're already doing like 99% of what's going to give you the best benefit.
You haven't thumbed up your own stream.
I haven't thumbed up my own. No wonder, like, only a third of you guys have thumbed up. I haven't even thumbed up my own stream. And P.S., don't forget to thumb up the stream. Oh, you'll love it. You'll have a, what is it? You'll have a real fancy time.
Why do you get so close?
Oh, I don't know. I've gone weird. Red dental curry is lit. Yeah, good point. Red is rad. I didn't understand why you said you were wrong in regards to your recent video response. So I was only wrong from the perspective of he didn't say oil is unhealthy. I merely got that impression from the fact that he said he wasn't afraid of oil. Later he cooked with oil and it had healthy in the title. So, you know, I wasn't wrong about the content and the... And initially, I did not know that the food that day of eating was the experiment. And as I said in my other video, most people click, so hardly anyone gets to the end of the video, of a video. If you look in analytics, like very few people get through a long old video. The few, you might be lucky to get 25% of people by the end of a video still on there. So that's 3/4 of people who would not have seen the very end, last little bit. After he said, you know, that's it for the video. Something like that he said. It basically wound up the video. Now, knowing what I know about YouTube analytics, because I delve into them all the time to try and optimize my videos and my channel, the minute a YouTuber says that the video is done, like the content that the people came for, that value is done, nearly everyone clicks off at that point. You'd be very lucky to get like 5% of people still on there on the video. And what he actually did was he said, right, that's it for the video. And then he said, oh, a couple of things. So he said one thing, he then said another thing unrelated to the video. And then he said, oh, and thirdly, the experiment, sort of, you find out more later on. We'll talk about the experiment and perhaps this day of eating will make more sense. So, you know, I was kind of wrong in the respect that I didn't say that he'd said this is an experiment. But the trouble is, most people would not have seen that either.
And he still called the video like healthy eating. And
yeah, which he's since changed, so he's starting to see my perspective. But what was I going to say? It was really important. What were we talking about? What I got wrong? Oh, but very importantly, really and truly, the reason I said I'd got anything wrong is because I feel as though when you do that, if you're in like a debate or like, this was more like a conflict for a while, you know, we were talking on DM and he wasn't interested in anything I had to say. The minute I'd said, okay, so I'll put my hand up, I got this and this wrong. And now he's talking to me and he's saying, okay, so yeah, forgive me, I'm young, I could have made that more obvious. And he started to say where he was wrong. So sometimes in an argument or a debate, like, it's good to just give an inch. When we debate...
Sorry, how can we expect anyone else to say they did something wrong if we're not willing to say what we did wrong? That's a perspective. It's
so easy, especially when you're advocating veganism, for instance, and you're on the street and you're trying to say about the animals, and people say, oh, well, I like the taste or whatever. And it's very easy to attack. And all you're doing is smashing the head. There's no way... if you don't... at least listen to the other person and listen without the objective of telling them your perspective. Listen, honestly listen. When they feel listened to, they then feel obliged to listen to you as well. And so part of it was I wanted to get Miles to be a little bit more open to hopefully change his perspective. And in all honesty, I mean, I won't publish this in a video or something, but he said to me, I can't take the video down because I'm, you know, that bit is sponsored by, oh, she's going to open this in the background. She's like a little church mouse, little lid, a little church mouse. You don't know that episode of Alan Partridge, so you might have thought I was being cruel, but I wasn't. See? I make a joke. What was I saying? What was I saying?
Oh.
Help me out, you're my external memory.
You were saying about the My Proteins, the video being...
Yeah, so he's actually pretty much said, admitted, like, yeah, probably ought to take the video down. However, the you know, he said he's like under contract from My Protein to, you know, because he's advertising them in the video. I don't think he's really under contract because I've worked with loads of different companies, including My Protein, and you never have to sign a contract. But I guess he feels bad if he's made this video, you know, which he's got paid for, and then he suddenly takes it down. Like, they're not going to like that. But maybe you could just re-upload that bit. Oh, I don't know. It gets a bit weird, and so he feels like he can't change it anyway. And he's changed it to experiment. But from my perspective, like I see you're saying in the comments, it's still not good enough. He needs to say, don't copy this at home unless you want heart disease, you know. But anyway, by me conceding a little bit, he's conceded, and we're actually on good terms now, talking. Anymore, which is yeah, we're speaking quite nicely, which feels a lot better. I didn't like to do that whole thing one little bit. Okay, Felicia's in the house. Hi, lovely Ismail. I know this is personal, but how has going vegan affected your sex life? If you watch the new Game Changers movie, it boosts sexual performance. One of the something we've really started to learn is that atherosclerosis, that hardening of the arteries, that is the #1 killer of Westerners. You know, when we fur up the coronary artery with this sort of hardening gruel is the exact translation. You know, that's the last. No, these arteries are the last things to get furred up. Before that, we're finding out more and more and more and more. Little capillaries get furred up first, then blood vessels, then veins, sorry, and eventually arteries because they're much bigger. But, you know, little capillaries feed the intervertebral discs, and all of a sudden people are getting non-mechanical low back pain, and then the spine's like, you know, just degeneration, and basically the little capillaries feeding the intervertebral discs are blocked up. Now nutrients, oxygen can't get in there, and that's the cause of that. We think multiple sclerosis, where the nerves are not getting any nutrition through because they're cut off with the atherosclerosis.
Look what you just did. Look what you just did. Just tipped all my things out.
They're called strawberries.
There.
By the way, guys, have you tried these? They're freaking delicious. And where's so my ones?
In the other room.
Oh,
and
good.
So the arteries to the penis are small, aren't they? Arteries?
Yeah, so the what are they?
What you were saying?
Yeah, so basically the penile arteries they're about half the size of the coronary arteries that feed the heart, and they get furred up and then decrease blood flow. So we used to think as men age, like it's an inevitable thing that, you know, they lose erections, and a lot of the time we used to think if it's younger, perhaps it's just psychosomatic, is that the phrase? Mm. All in your head. Have you noticed how a lot of old illnesses, especially among women, and they used to say, oh, it's all in your head, and they would get locked up in a bloody Victorian nut house or whatever. This is all in your head. But no, there's a physical reason, and if oxygen, blood, nutrients can't get to different organs, well, guess what? They die. They stop working. And so the penis, like, what? If you do have an early, a lot of people just drop dead from heart disease with no real warning. If you do get a warning, more often than not, your dick stops working. And that's all going to be in the Game Changers movie, and it's going to show how not only is it viable for athletes to eat you know, plant-based diet. It's actually optimal, and also it's not unmanly to eat this way. It takes a real man to stand up to injustice, to face like aggression and ridicule for what we're doing, because people who are not doing that often feel that way about it initially, and you're better in the sack. Win-win-win. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's jumped again.
The next question was, what do we think of vegans that work in slaughterhouses to get undercover footage? Like, is it ethical?
I think, yeah, that's it. I've not ever had to consider this before off the top of my head, and I may change my mind when I think about it, but it seems ethical. You know, someone is going to do it, and at least they're doing it for a good reason, and hats off to them. I couldn't bloody do that.
How could a vegan do that though?
Yeah.
They put themselves through
Yeah.
it, you know, like...
That must cause, I mean, I guess maybe they're just wired that way, and it doesn't affect them.
Or they have the mental capacity to block things out and not very in touch with their emotions if they can.
But that is hugely kind of brave in my view. I couldn't do it in a million years. And if it's going to get these places closed down sooner, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, sort of similar.
Good. I never considered this before.
It's hard when you say.
Isn't it? What do you guys think?
It's hard when you say, oh well, if that person didn't do it, someone else would be doing it.
Yeah, because then you're justifying
Yeah, you're justifying the abuse, whatever. You know.
Yeah, of course. But it's not, things are not black and white, are they? There's shades of grey, and like I often think, what is the best outcome for the animals? Yes. Not like what is. So some people say to me, oh, you're not vegan, like you eat twice as much food as you need, so therefore you get twice as much field mice killed when the combine harvester is harvesting your crops.
Taking more food away from starving people.
Yeah, and my perspective is, well, I'm trying to reach a certain demographic, like for want of a better phrase, like a red-blooded, like gym-going males, you know, which is probably the smallest demographic of vegans. And my argument is, once I've turned the gym industry vegan, then I'll look at it. And so greater good comes into it.
Yeah. So
yeah, technically it maybe is less vegan if you want to really like be so pedantic about it. From my perspective, pedantic. But yeah, that's how I justify it. I think, well, you know, I've been all over the place on the World Service, speaking to 166 million people. If I wasn't a bodybuilder, like I wouldn't have been on there doing that. You know, and then that's, now if a few of those, so for the extra twice the amount of field mice that get killed, let's say, if 1% of those 1.66 million people go vegan and they eat animal products like they're going out of fashion, well, like what's the net outcome? Sometimes you know, and it's not nice to think that you're hurting animals, but it is nice to think less animals will suffer because of this. What do you guys say? Comment below. Good question. That was the best question I've had for ages. Gentle Ape, you're very welcome. Laura Watts, I did, but he wants to eat meat, and he said I have to choose normal restaurants. Most of them, I get fed up with the lack of choices for a vegan. Yeah, what do you think? If it's your birthday, you could just for one time let you be happy rather than he has to be like.
And can you let him know? Oh, there's not a lot of choice for me as a vegan in a non-vegan restaurant, and I want to have a lot of choice because it's my birthday. Yeah. And when it's your birthday, maybe I'll come to where you want to eat, and I'll have like a bit of a not so good time. I'm willing to do that because I love you and I want to help celebrate your birthday. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Jesse Hitman, how much avocado is too much? So, you know, there's a lot of debate about this, as you've seen in 2 of my last 3 videos. My feeling is from what I've seen of the nutritional science, it seems as though if you want to optimize your health, no more than 15% of your calories probably from dietary fats. So that's quite a small amount. And then we do need to eat omega-3, omega-6. Avocados are mostly omega-9. They're mostly monounsaturated fat. They're not polyunsaturates.
And monounsaturated are ubiquitous among all the nuts and seeds where you'd get your polyunsaturated fats from. So my perspective is we need some chia or flax seeds for the omega-3, like a couple of tablespoons for most people. So that's like already a decent chunk of it. We want to balance that with some omega-6. So maybe we have a little half to a handful of other nuts. And then, like, you know, you might not be left with anything, like, at the most. It depends how many calories, like, you can get away with for your size and your, you know, your caloric output, daily energy expenditure. But maybe that you can't really have much or any. I include it on the odd occasion. I don't maybe have half of one or something in a day. And, you know, I'm quite a big, you know, I've got a big caloric requirement is what I'm trying to say. Do you want a field one, Jem? Should we go one for one? Why do you want to do it? Are you happy?
You know, I'm happy.
I don't need you to sit there bored.
No, it's fine. There's a lot. I can see a lot of questions about protein powder.
Rusty Richardson, why do you take protein powder then? Whole plant foods are the cleanest and highest quality. Yeah, I quite agree, but to get the amount of protein I need with the other macros also in the equation. So there's like a percent. I don't look at it in terms of percentages, but in order to optimize my physique, there is kind of a interplay where I need higher protein relative to what you'd get from the whole foods without getting loads of carbs and fat. So for me, it may hurt my gains potentially if I don't have a more isolated form of protein, but I try to do it like as minimally as possible, and I don't recommend it for anyone that doesn't need to do that, you know, unless they're a larger strength athlete or physique athlete.
Why is eating meat bad? I guess this question is saying.
Okay, Lewis. So if you look at the data, you know, the science on lifestyle and disease and death, about 75% of deaths in the Western world are down to what we're eating. And now, you know, it's eating too much of the wrong things and not eating enough of the right things. Whole plant foods, so fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, they tend to really boost health. They're anti-heart disease, anti-cancers, anti-diabetes, you know. 14 of the 15 leading killers of the Western world are preventable with this eating modality. Most of them are treatable, so you can arrest the development of these diseases, and 3 of them are reversible, including killer number 1, heart disease. So healthy. So that's whole plant foods. They make good things happen. And then anything other than that, so meat, eggs, fish, dairy, refined plant foods like sugar, oils, white flour, they tend to create disease. And nutritionally, you're not getting so much goodness. Harvard University did a study in 2014, and they found out that on average, vegetables are 16 times more nutrient dense than meat. The biggest ever study on antioxidants found that on average, plant foods have 64 times more antioxidants than animal foods, and in some cases it can be thousands of times more. The weakest antioxidant plant food is iceberg lettuce, which has about 7 units of antioxidants per, I don't know if it's per 100 grams, per whatever the serving is, whereas like wild salmon is about the most antioxidants in it, and then berries can have thousands. Amla powder, just off the charts. And since we have oxidative stress all the time, like from the sun, from fumes, even eating and exercising causes oxidative stress. And so you're always going to have that, but how you protect yourself from disease and aging is antioxidants undo oxidative stress. So yeah. Really, there's hardly anything in plant foods that's not in animal products. Mostly it's in animal products because the animal ate the plants, or ate an animal that ate the plants. But with the animal version, you're getting saturated fat, cholesterol, trans fats, natural and artificial hormones, antibiotics, heterocyclic amines, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, nitrosamines. Hemine, we know it is carcinogenic. We don't have a mechanism for really stopping that coming into our bodies if it's too much. What else can we? Dioxins, PCBs, heavy metals that bioaccumulate up the food chain. There's just so much negatives in animal products and just a fraction of the positives. So what are you doing, woman?
So you've mentioned the health, but also animal agriculture is destroying the environment.
Yeah.
And obviously animals don't want to die. They don't want to live a horrible life in confined spaces and have their children taken away and all these things. And yeah, eventually, you know, end up in a slaughterhouse. Animals, they don't want that. So that's another really important reason to...
Yeah. Well said. What's the next question? That was a good question. Amak, do you tend to have any naughties like cheat meals or cheat days, Mr. Herb, or are you quite strict? I usually have a cheat day on Sunday. Yeah, I used to. And this was back in the days when I was an omnivorous eater. And I was eating what I thought was healthy food, but I was eating my diet food. And then someone was having a greasy old cheeseburger and chips and like a Pepsi or whatever. And I thought, I'll just one time do that. And didn't enjoy it half as much as I thought I was going to. And then my next meal was a tuna salad, which smelt like a urinal, tasted like nothing because of this hyper palatable, fatty, sugary, salty food. And I just thought, that's the last cheat meal. Like, it's just ruined like this other food that I was actually enjoying up until that point. And now my perspective is, because I look at it not just from the perspective of sports performance, but optimal health. And I think, who am I cheating?
Your body's never not looking.
Oh, you got that one in there.
Were you going to say it?
Dr. Clapper said that, didn't he? Yeah, your body's never not looking. Who are you cheating? And my treat is optimal health and feeling really well. And yeah, I prefer that. And because I've been eating whole foods for so long, I taste them for how they're meant to taste. It's not spoiled my taste buds. And everything tastes delicious to me anyway. So there's just no need. But it's doing it long enough that you reset your taste buds. Good words. Good question. Are we quite up to date with questions? So I'm trying to rip through them a bit quicker. Let's just have a look. I know we're a little way behind, aren't we? Oh, not too far though. Let's try and catch up.
Do we ever eat out was the next question. We don't eat out very often because of what we were just saying for the last question, because we like to eat healthily and most places cook with oil and things like that. But if we want to eat out, like we know a lot of the vegan restaurant owners, you know, in Norwich, or all of them. So we would just be inclined to message and say, oh, this is the kind of thing we're looking for. Can you do something for us? Or we know what things are the healthiest on the menu by now, things like that. So we don't eat out very often at all though, do we?
No.
No.
Susan Stewart's in the house. Hi guys, hope you're enjoying the sunshine. How do you feed your cats? Orally. We feed them through the mouth hole. No, we feed them a complete vegan cat food. Obviously, obligate carnivores, so they're, you know, it's not optimally what they should be eating as a nutritionist. And I bang on about species specific whole foods for humans. I feel a hypocrite doing that. But I can't in good consciousness keep paying someone else to hurt other animals just because I don't know them and I know these animals. They seem to thrive. Most cats seem to thrive on it. It must be a complete food, which is pH balanced and got nutrients added in that we know they need, such as taurine, which incidentally is destroyed in regular cat food, and they have to add in synthetic taurine anyway. It's destroyed by the heating process. But it's a grey area, isn't it? It's a tough one. We get that question a lot, don't we, Jim? Rad. I didn't view you as being wrong, and he certainly didn't make it clear about the food being an experiment. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Ollie, you are a strong boy. Look at these guys. Thanks, bro. Mr. Alex. Nope. Oh, the Razy Life. Book my tickets for a vegan camp out. Nice. Just have to check that I can get a tent. Yeah, lovely.
We haven't got a tent. We
haven't yet. So. If we get a 3-man, you can stay where we are. And the Razy Life, she's been commenting on the Miles controversy. Yeah. She's a fan of both. Jan, hey, Gemma, I just watched your video about One Planet Pizza. Those guys pretty good business. They will reap some serious profit. I hope so, because I've got shares. That'll be good. Elka is in the house. Hello, my friend. Sonic Studios trying to poach my viewers. How very dare you? Thunder Bay Personal Trainer Logan Blake's in the house. What's up? Check him out on the YouTubes. Awesome vegan PT. Will vegan, have you going for the new no ball burgers? Try. No, we just would not find that tasteful. Yeah.
Too realistic, I imagine.
Yeah. Eric, have you seen the Game Changers? Where to see it? No, I've not seen it yet, sadly, but it will be out in the autumn to watch. So that's the update on that. I saw some of it being filmed because I was there, but only a couple of scenes, and you don't even know if it's made it into the film because that was 8 years in the making. Swizzy the JJ girl. Hello again, Hench and Gemma. Hello, my lovely. Say
hello.
Hi. Jan, I always buy fresh strawberries and all kinds of berries. I will go for an evening haul shortly. Nice. Brad, hey, when does Game Changer? I just answered that one. Thanks for joining. Mr. Alex, does plant-based eating also boost testosterone levels? So in tests that I've seen, on average, I've only seen vegans to have higher testosterone than omnivorous eaters. And if you know about that, ex-Dr. Sean Baker, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's on a completely meat diet, so like a carnivorous diet, and he had his bloods done recently, and his testosterone was like that of a nearly 100-year-old, like it's through the floor. And again, you know, yes, sex hormones are made out of cholesterol, is the substrate that it builds from, but what people forget is that we manufacture cholesterol. So the herbivorous animals that we have cholesterol in them. Why is that? Because they make cholesterol from the plant compounds. Happily, we're also animals, and we make cholesterol from the plant compounds. And people say, well, surely if you have more of the raw materials, you build more hormones. And no, the body auto-regulates. We build the amount of hormones that our body thinks we need. If you were like under-eating, you know, if you're under eating calories, if you were eating a junk food diet and not getting the raw nutrients, you could be low on the building block. So your testosterone might be low because of that. And then if you just ate a bit more, maybe your testosterone then goes up. But it's not a function of, oh, this food boosts your testosterone. It's, well, you just need to reach a minimum of these nutrients to build your testosterone. So it's only relative to a poor diet. Once you get to that point, there's nothing you can eat which then makes your testosterone go higher. And if there was, it would become a pharmaceutical grade drug, like immediately.
Can I interrupt this video for a
short special bulletin.
Announcement?
Go.
Okay, so the place where we live, the Big V Guest House, is hosting their first ever retreat. I'm going to
Say what? When is that?
It's in a week's time. It's next weekend.
Next weekend?
But there's still...
I better write a speech.
There's a small amount of spaces left. And they've now opened it up so that if you can't come for the whole weekend, you can just come for a day. You don't have to stay the night.
God damn!
You can just come on the Saturday or just come on the Sunday.
And what sort of activities are there? What's the itinerary?
The itinerary is amazing.
Oh.
So I'll tell you all about it.
I'll tell them while you're trying to find it. So there's meditation. I'm going to be doing a talk about plant-based nutrition, whole foods. The girls that run the guest house, they're amazing cooks, and they're going to teach you how to cook. Your meals are all included. If you're coming for the weekend, you get the Saturday night stay over as well. So you'll be living in our house.
Yeah.
This is my house, baby.
All the food is cooked without salt or sugar. It's all whole foods, healthful, but you can see how it can be made really tasty. There's
yoga,
meditation,
nature walks.
Yes.
All that good stuff. Oh, and massage, aromatherapy.
Massages.
Wow.
All included in the price. You can just get a massage.
110 rubs for the whole weekend, full board, full. You stay in there, all the food.
You can get it for £99 if you're willing to share a room, because there's a couple of rooms that are shared.
And £40 for one day with no.
If you want to come for the whole day,
staying over.
All your food, you can have massages, yoga, meditation, come to the talk, the whole day, just £40.
That is amazing value. And where can people find this great offer, Gemma?
Well, I've just posted a link to it in the description.
Oh, god damn.
If people just go to that Facebook page, contact them, they'll send you a link on how to book for it, basically.
This message has been sponsored by Hench Herbivore. Link in the description. Give us your money. Okay, back to the broadcast.
Back to the usual show.
Back to the usual trope. That was good. Boom. Yeah, good points. Laura, he says I'm being stupid and weird that I changed my lifestyle and don't get a job I like to work. Yeah. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I feel that he's not a nice person, to be honest, from what you've told me.
Oh,
and I don't think you... Okay, he's not acting in a nice way towards you, which, the way which you deserve. That's not unconditional love, is it? And, yeah, I don't blame you. It's hard, isn't it? Because, you know, we're the ones to change, so that often people do feel that way, like, oh, like they're gone weird and I'm just the same, and all of a sudden they're putting all these conditions, like, on me. You know, we've had it with people as well, but yeah, I feel the same way as you do, but it's sad, isn't it? Hopefully over time, you know, people realise that you're serious, and that hopefully that it's not against them, and it's because you don't, you know, want to just be in that paradigm anymore. And hopefully eventually people come round, you know, if they like love you and, you know, they value being with you, hopefully they see our perspective eventually. I can't see the questions, my lovely.
Sorry, I just noticed somebody said they're not on Facebook. Laura said, so can I post a link to the tweet from somewhere else?
Sure. Let me be answering the question.
Questions. Yeah, sure.
Good answer, but about the vegan and slaughterhouse video, James Ashby interviewed a vegan that did that, called Undercover Slaughterhouse Work with Q&A. Thank you, Mike Mindful. That's interesting. Jan, I think it's basically morality to limit suffering at general. Yeah. Vegan lives. Rosie lives in the house. Can't wait. Nice. Oh, coming on you. Come and hang out with us. We'll look after you. Alex, what are the best nuts for omega-6-3 ratios? I eat mainly walnuts and Brazils. So I eat mainly walnuts and Brazils. Walnuts are, as far as we know, possibly the healthiest nut. They have the most omega-3, although it's still skewed for 4.2 to 1 in favour of omega-6, but it's got more omega-3 than any other nut. It's more alkalizing. It's the best versus most cancers. And Brazils, you know, they're little, I think of those as little selenium. How do we say it? Selenium.
Selenium, I say, but...
Selenium. Oh yeah, Americans say selenium. I see those as little kind of selenium tablets. But yeah, any nuts are great. Any seeds are great, but mostly they're going to be skewed in favour of 6. So we don't want to go mad on them relative to our chia and flax seeds, which are skewed about 4 to 1 in favour of omega-3. So by the end of the day, you want those roughly in balance. Chronometer is a great app. If you plug in your day's food on Chronometer, look under lipids, which is your dietary fats, and you'll see omega-3, omega-6, and the grams of each wants to be as near to 1-to-1 as you can manage it. It can be a little higher in 6, but you don't want it to be, some people, more than 20-to-1 for kind of junk food and omnivorous eaters. And it causes inflammation, it causes depression, pain in the joints, artery disease, like eventually like just different diseases from the inflammation. Yeah.
Fernando Torres says, hi Hench.
Hello.
Ilka. Yes, says protein powder is a refined food.
It sure is.
Elon Musk, do you guys know who Sexy Vegan is?
Yes, that's me.
What's your perspective on being careful about protein consumption, even from plant sources, because of methione's connection to cancer? Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea. So, you know, I do smash the protein in because of my goals, and I could be risking my health because of it. I don't think there's a lot of clear data. I know that plant protein seems to perform much better than the animal version, but if it is the amino acids causing the problem, well, they're the same amino acids, so I could be taking one for the team. You look sad.
I am sad.
You know, if you smash loads of anti-cancer foods in, hopefully that might offset the damage. When I was on an omnivorous eating, I was really like mad and trying everything I could to grow muscle. I was eating 500 grams of animal protein a day. I now eat like 200 at the most. So
God, how did you do that?
It's a fraction. Oh, God knows. That wasn't enjoyable.
Did you just used to think the more the better?
Yeah, and there was that thing which what were we saying about testosterone, and then if you eat more kind of fats, like you must make more testosterone, and you just make the amount that, you know, I was eating 500 grams of animal protein a day. By the end of the week, I was not putting on 3.5 kilos of lean muscle, and I just one day thought, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is stupid. Scott girl, oh no, I'm late. I go, hi lovely, how are you? I'd usually have 2 Brazil nuts or walnuts. Mr. Alex, I will caution you not to have more than about 3 or 4 Brazil nuts in a day, because selenium is toxic in like high doses. Yeah, and they are very high in selenium. Red is red. How long have you been eating for optimal health, and how did you discover eating this way? So whole foods, plant-based, 6.5 years for me, about 7 years for this lovely one.
We went through like a phase of trying all the like mock meats, and you know, for a time, didn't we? So we
not hugely,
but we and then we had a phase of eating some of the processed things a little bit more. But then we
sort of found that 80-10-10 diet at first, which is like just raw, so tons of vegetables, salad and stuff, and then went on to cooked foods, didn't process cooked foods, and just over time, as I learned more from different books and YouTube channels, particularly, just the more I saw that we have power over our longevity and the not years in our life, but the life in our years. So I'm so excited and happy to be alive, and I want this for as long as I can have it, you know, and be functional and create stuff, and you know, yeah, that's that.
On to another one.
Okay, Peter Thompson's in the house. Elon, how does that mean other animals are evil? So does that mean other animals are evil?
I think this must be a conversation with someone else.
Yeah.
We haven't missed anything.
If an animal is carnivorous by nature, then they're just acting in a natural way. So how can that be evil, is my perspective.
It jumped.
It jumped.
Here we go.
Here.
Laura says, I'm starting to cut out oil in food and using water to cook food.
Oh, that's huge. That will really help you in terms of weight loss and health.
These things aren't to you. Answer that one.
Gigi. Nearly vegan, but I've always been into fashion and sneakers. I'll take it you're American. I find it hard to not buy sneakers even if they contain animals. And another thing. Right. So I don't know if that's a question, is it? You find it hard not to buy sneakers with
products. So it sounds like you've not made the connection yet to that. I feel like it can come in stages with veganism.
Yeah.
We carried on wearing some products we already had, like leather boots, you know, for a while, and then eventually we were like, oh, actually, this doesn't feel good anymore. So I don't know. I invite you to look into it a bit more, like what happens to the animals, you know, in these other industries, like for leather and all that, and just get more information, and then really look at that and see then how that feels to you, and if you're okay with contributing to that once you've explored it.
Yeah, but you know, you're doing a great thing there. And what's your experience with distilled water? So I've not had it, I've not used it, but I would say it's one of the better ways to go. People's criticism of it would be, well, you're losing all the minerals. And my criticism of that criticism would be there are so few minerals in water, and if you're eating a predominantly whole foods, plant-based diet, you're going to have exponentially more minerals than you'd ever get out of, you know, if you drank a swimming pool worth of that water. So don't sweat it. Yeah, get it in you. Get off the tap water, number one, and preferably not bottled water. You know, not plastic bottles.
Let's catch up.
Yeah, go.
How should
Fernando.
How should we eat tofu? I heard Dr. Gregor say we should grill it. Is over okay? Don't know what that means. Grill it. Should we grill it?
Yeah, grill it.
Okay. Are you speaking at the vegan camp out, Mr. Alex says?
Yes. Go.
Elket says they gas enough stray cats annually to make plenty of cat food for all the ones that have owners. What? Oh.
Hi, Elka. Gigi, what's your view on honey? So it's nutritionally bereft, and those poor old bees work their butts off. You know, how would we like it if we worked hard all week, came home, and someone had ripped the fridge out of our kitchen? And, you know, they get crushed when the beekeepers open the beehives, they get killed. Just because they're smaller than us, is that a reason not to treat them with the same, you know, look at them with the same, what am I trying to say? If other animals deserve to live, why do they not deserve to live just because they're like smaller? It's all a relative. Like if you were a flea, you'd think they were huge.
Yeah. Joe Pepsi is saying, can your thyroid be balanced out with proper nutrition, or is medication a must?
It all depends, really, doesn't it?
I've just put a comment of a book that I particularly like at the minute about thyroid healings. I've got a thyroid problem. My thyroid has improved so much since I've been eating whole foods vegan over the years. So much. I'm still on medication, but I hope to wean off it at some point when I'm well enough. I believe that you can wean off it, but I think you have to be really careful and you have to get your body in a really good state first, is my perspective.
Andrea K, do you know who will be showing the Game Changers? No, they've not released that yet. Evelina, are you familiar with the research of health effects on honey? It's basically, it's kind of just sugar, really. There's so little nutrition in there.
These aren't things to us. Matty says, hey, sorry I was asleep, not had much of that this week.
Ah, yeah, you have to catch up. Look after your health, you get your sleep in.
Okay, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me eat meat. Is this R. Kelly song reference? Okay, how do you say this name?
Ujita. Why, hello.
Answer this question, Mr. Alex.
I always thought it was 4:1 omega-6 to 3 that was optimal. So that would be for an omnivorous eater, because they will be getting direct DHA from fish and the like. However, for a vegan, we need to elongate the plant version ALA omega-3 into the version EPA and DHA. If we've got much more 6 relative to 3, there's a chance that the enzyme which elongates both of them, named elongase, could get used. So that could potentially run you into health problems.
Send Prince Fancy Bum some love, he's hungover. What's your favourite type of milk? Veg milk, nut milk, grain milk, bean milk, or whatever.
I don't really have a preference. I don't tend to really use it.
Matty R, can't wait to get vegan rations in the army. I've been on a hard exercise this week, and so many egg and dairy products in the veggie ones. Oh. Wow. Mike Mindful, do you think vegans should date carnists? I don't want to be judgmental, but their breath is so bad.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, that would put me off.
Vegans should date. I think it's, can you, or maybe if you met someone that you really liked, maybe you would.
Yeah, if they were like open-minded, maybe you think, oh, maybe they'll change later.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's good if we can do it, and then maybe we are a influence on them.
Yes, Laura, come and see us. Come and stay at the guest house.
Yes, please
come to
do.
The retreat. Yes. And Cody says, love your channel. I've been vegan for over 13 years.
Wow.
Now eating a more whole foods diet and cutting out oil since viewing your videos and learning more about
Nice, well done, Anne. That's cool.
Brilliant.
Alcohol. My reason to quit alcohol over a decade ago was because my hangovers lasted like 3 days. No, that's not for me.
Oh.
It's all vitamin B12 vegan. The vitamin itself is, but I don't know whether it might be in a gelatin cap or something like that. They're mostly hard tablets, aren't they? B12. Probably is my guess, but don't quote me.
Did you say 4 Brazil nuts per day or per week?
So about 4 in a day might be a little too much. So I only have up to 3 personally.
Did you do the Q&A video? Gawain says.
I've done a Q&A video recently, and I'm going to do a couple more off of the same footage because I didn't realise how long it was.
Diffusable says, my girlfriend and I love your channel.
Ah, thank you, my friend. That's really kind.
Yasmin's Conscious Kitchen is here. Hi.
Yay.
Is this a new stream time?
Yeah, sorry, I've been meaning to change my banner on my channel, but yeah, 5 p.m. on a Sunday is the new time. Hope you will be able to join us on the regs.
Sorry, so I use coconut oil on my skin. Is it still bad for me compared to eating it?
No, that's fine, but don't put it on a baby's skin because it's so much thinner and it would absorb into their bloodstream.
Fernando says, no, sorry, I mean, shouldn't grill it. Is the oven okay? Oh, is that about the tofu?
I wouldn't boil it, yeah. I can't even remember how we've cooked tofu. What do we marinate it? Bake it, do we?
Yeah.
We bake it. We bake it, sorry. I thought we did grill it, but we bake it.
Yes.
I wondered if, we had some fillets that you put on the George Foreman, but they probably had oil in, so I wouldn't recommend them now.
Tips to get more calories in. I and you, it says.
So yeah, we answered this earlier, but tropical fruits, dried fruits, whole grains, legumes, a bit more nuts and seeds. Make sure you're getting near with the 15% of your calories, and smoothies are great too.
Your voice is beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Clean living in Crete, saying hi.
Oh, hi, lovely. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the comments on my recent videos as well, supporting us. We appreciate it.
Fire Tiger says.
Mystery Cat.
Yeah.
What's up? Mystery Cat, are you in Bristol? Because we're coming soon. I think we met you in Bristol, did we? I think we did.
Next weekend, the week after.
We're coming to stay for the weekend.
2
Woo!
weeks. Well, we haven't found anywhere to stay yet, but hopefully we're staying.
Recommend us somewhere to stay. Maybe we'll get a Airbnb or something.
If there's any left.
Is there anywhere good to stay in Bristol, please?
Mikel Romanus, what's your go-to muscle building meal? Do you have any tips on how to make whole foods taste better while keeping it quick and simple?
Okay, so yeah, I can answer all that in one fell swoop. I would say basically boil some quinoa or another whole grain, bring a can of legumes, steam some good range of different coloured vegetables. I have a piece of fruit, I'll have a little nuts or seeds and some hot sauce. That's it. That's the answer to all your prayers. Did we catch up?
Just, yeah. Bill Cat says, I take a performed EPA DHA supplement twice a month. The bottle says to take it daily, but I can't afford that. Oh, it's not really a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a...
That's not really going to be enough from my perspective, so shop around if you can. You should be able to get them fairly cheap. And you're not in the UK, though, are you? Sorry to hear that. You may not need it if you're eating adequately of flax and chia and not too much of the others, but you don't know. Like some people have like maybe a genetic mutation, maybe they don't produce that elongase. You wouldn't know, but it's rare, so you should be fine.
Mr. Alex says, don't you get AGEs from grilled baked?
Yeah, I mean you get AGEs from eating basically, and it's just limiting it. So better not to grill things. Better not to eat so much protein and fat-rich foods. But on the scale of things, if 1 gram of boiled carrots has 100 AGEs, 1 gram of raw butter has 1,000,000 AGEs. So we're already doing pretty well as vegans. And my perspective is, don't over worry about it, or you'll just, you're allowed to have a little bit of something.
Fernando says, I think Dr. Gregor said something about that tofu shouldn't be heated to a certain temperature.
Yeah, so frying definitely not.
Yeah, don't fry anything.
Basically, if you are cooking, you want to cook with like wet heat methods, so steaming, boiling, microwaving, and not dry heat. frying and so much baking and roasting. We bake some chips like fairly often, but the rest of the food all day is water based, and
we don't make them really like black, you know.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have AGEs so much as acrylamides, which might be bad anyway.
One more question. Do vegans need lysine subs?
I don't take one. You decide.
And I think that's about it. Or it's just these two last things, if you wanted to answer those.
I have a hard time eating nuts. Do you think naked body is good enough? You'd probably want about 3 of those, I should think, without knowing exactly what's in them.
One of them's about 5 grams of fat, 8 grams, something like that.
I'm totally plant-based, but my 1 gin and tonic a day is having an effect on my cholesterol. I don't really know about alcohol and cholesterol. I wouldn't have thought so. No. Sat, fat, trans fats and dietary cholesterol are the problem. Okay. We're just about caught up, haven't we? Where are we?
Everything else we've read.
I had to remove toxins from the body. Just eat whole plant foods. Your liver detoxes you all day long and all night long. Yasmin's Conscious Kitchen. Fancy a trip to Romsey next month? I'm holding a stall at the Vegan Fair. We'd be happy to have you around for vegan dinner. Oh, that's really kind. To be honest, we've kind of booked about as many events as we can really attend. I normally work on the weekends, and I'm already speaking kind of all over the country, and yeah, although that would be nice. That's is that Essex? I don't know. Or am I thinking of somewhere else? Yeah, I don't know. Shoot me over the details. Probably no, but shoot over the details, and you never know. Yeah, no, that'd be really lovely. Like, we really appreciate your kindness. That's lovely. Are you guys going to the camp? I think. Yeah, we're going to 3 campouts, and I'm speaking at them all. Or 2 of them. Is it? All right. You're speaking all of them, yeah. But yeah, come along if you can get over. That would be great to meet you, Alison. Right, we ought to sign off now. If you're new here, we'd love to have you become part of the Hench Herbivore community. So hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new videos, new live streams. We put up a couple of videos a week. The new streaming time is 5 PM on a Sunday now. So
all the live streams go on the Patreon if anyone wants to watch them back later.
If you want to give us your money. Don't forget the Big V Guest House Reset Rebalance weekend next weekend. Gemma will post the link again. Come and stay with us.
You come for the whole weekend or just for one day?
Yeah, and there's going to be a talk on plant-based nutrition, a Q&A, this cookery, help with how to cook, meditation, massage, nature walks, aromatherapy. It's just a big weekend, nice itinerary. You get to stay in the Big V Guest House. We've got beautiful woods and lake and horse sanctuary nearby. It's just resetting yourself, getting yourself mad healthy. Cool. Got anything to add, mate?
No, thanks for coming, everyone.
Thanks for coming. Get out of here, you crazy cat.